I firmly believe that we must strive to keep certain memories alive, and the camera is a way of preventing things from disappearing.
I've got no idea of what reconciliation is. I need a teacher.
Kulungile. Sigqibezela ke elo ngcwabo lakhe namhlanje. uSiphiwo. Kwathi kanti ngelishwa nangethamsanqa inwele zakhe zikhona singcwaba zona ke namhlanje siyagqiba ngoSiphiwo namhlanje sivasa izandla kulungile Siphiwo zusibulisele lo madoda enkosi kakhulu ndiyabulela.
Vision, libone inkululeko at a distance. Ndikhumbula igwitho lakhe. Wayesithi uSiphiwo, nanti indoda emnyama isisa. Bayanga Fairfoot.
He was the only one who was effective and the only one anyway who had guts to stand up and say, this is the year of the Freedom Charter. The colors we are following is black, green and gold.
Yes, he was wearing the ANC colors, public, and was also detained for that.
Ngumntana oright kakhulu. Sasingamazi thina nezinto azenzayo. Sibantu ukuva ngabantu ba hey. Sithi hayi ulapha etoilet kanti uSiphiwo usendihlanganiswe nemakapa. Awu bebeke etoilet nje.
Wayesilwela imfundo ephucukileyo wafa. Andikwazi ke ngoku ndiyokufa mna ndibone abantwana bakhe bese-deadbean bengafundanga.
He could have been a great dad, I think, if he could have been still around. Because he really did love children and he loved people. Because I hear that he was a funny person, you know, when you're sad, he always tried to make you, you know, to make you smile, you know, to make you just to forget about your pains and your problems. He was a very happy person, energetic, you know.
And wayengengomuntu ostinji wayexelela uncama neyakhe into angabi nayo kunoba omnye umuntu asokole yena khona wayekade angxolise nangu-anti ethanda ubolekisa ngezilamba zakhe uba beze netshomi yakhe Siphiwo iphi la jezi bendikuthengele yona seyimkile ijezi yakhe mhlawumbi ubolekisile ngayo komkhuseli Jackie isilamba enye i-tracksuit izaba kumawawa enye ibe kovusa umzimathikinqa wayengumuntu owayengakhathali uba uyena ubufuna ukonelisa umuntu ufuna ukonelisa umuntu akafuna ukwenzela yena ufuna konela omnye umuntu.
When utata disappeared bamthatha koNiewooudt neteam yakhe 14th April. By the time ngimnake I was 3 months old, so I didn't have that chance ukuthi ngaze ngimbona.
I never knew Siphiwo Mtimkulu, but our lives have connected. We were detained around the same time, under Section 6 of the Terrorism Act. He in Port Elizabeth, myself in Cape Town. I was held for making films the apartheid government didn't like. Shortly after my release, I saw from a newspaper article that there was a student activist who was desperately ill, having been tortured and poisoned while in solitary confinement. I remember how astonished I was that he had the audacity to sue the Minister of Police on both counts. And I was horrified, though not entirely surprised, when, shortly thereafter, he disappeared. By this time, he had fathered 2 children, Aluta and Sikhumbuzo, by different girlfriends. In 1995, nearly 14 years after Siphiwo's disappearance, I first met the family, and over the past 7 years, I've been filming their story.
If I can say anything in front of the Truth Commission, I am pleading to it to ask these chaps to tell me or us what they did to Siphiwo and why they did it. How? Where are Siphiwo's bones? What are they going to do?
May 1996, and the crowd at the Truth Commission hearing on Siphiwo Mtimkulu is extremely angry, as his killers have branded Siphiwo's mother Joyce a liar, and have used the courts to block Joyce 3 times from testifying.
It was her only day that she would have in a forum where she would pour her heart out, for the cathartic effect that this usually has on people who have been bottling up pain and frustration for all this number of years. Nieuwoudt denied that woman a number of times from saying her piece.
The crowd chanted, "Kill Nieuwoudt," as they identified him as the chief culprit. Nieuwoudt had added to their anger by preventing witnesses from mentioning him by name in numerous other cases. The men implicated in Siphiwo's killing were General Gideon Nieuwoudt Erasmus, head of security police operations in the province, who says he ordered the elimination of Siphiwo Mtimkulu. General Nicolaas Jacobus Janse van Rensburg, who pulled the trigger. Colonel Hermanus Baron du Plessis, who recommended Nieuwoudt. And Colonel Gideon Nieuwoudt, then a warrant officer who monitored and interrogated Siphiwo. They sought amnesty just 2 days before the original deadline expired. Siphiwo Maxwell Mtimkulu and Topsy Madaka, Stephen Bantu Biko, the Motherwell car bomb, the Pipco 3 killings, 10 murders for which Gideon Nieuwoudt applied for amnesty. However, in the case of Siphiwo Mtimkulu, Nieuwoudt and the others denied any knowledge of torture or poison. The reconstructions used in this film are based on Siphiwo's affidavit, where he named names, and principal among these was that of Gideon Nieuwoudt, who denies ever having physically assaulted Siphiwo. Siphiwo was barely 22 years old when he was killed. Already by then he had been detained many times. His final detention in 1981, lasting 5 months, occurred when Siphiwo and other activists brought in ANC pamphlets from Lesotho, calling for a boycott of the apartheid government's Republic Day celebrations. A boycott supported by the student body COSAS.
Siphiwo was in control of the region, the whole of Eastern Cape. He was very powerful. Number one, he's known, he's a great singer. Number two, he can, shake the masses. Number three, if I get the message to him, I know it's going to be carried on.
Distribute pamphlet, distribute. USiphiwo aqala apha e-areani yam. Ndithi yes, uzangibambisa wena uzawulanda umkhondo. Why uqala apha e-areani yam? Now xa ndihambe ibanjwe ibhasi. Then ibheke Alcoa. Okay, kufika uJuprisi but decide ukuthi after take or identify umuntu owenze le nto okanye abamkhanela ukuthi uzenzile bandithatha to Sanlam.
Knowing that the security police were hunting for them everywhere, Siphiwo and his comrades decided to leave town for a while, but Siphiwo insisted on fetching his favorite pair of boots from another house.
When it was, approaching 11, and it was quiet, then on the way, I felt like I should pee. Siphiwo and Mondespire proceeded. I saw a police vehicle. Then I made a warning to them and said, yo, meaning that the police were around.
I got scared and I ran. Shots were fired at me. One shot hit my right arm.
But that Saturday, ndibana ndiyofakwa ke ndiyoncinwa eSanlam building. Ndifike ndihleli apho kungena umawawa exhwaleke ngolona hlobo lubi. Edumbe ebusweni, elambile, enqaniwe, ediniwe, kubonakala umntana omhle wakwamawawa inene abeluku bebemphethe ubusuku bonke. Ekhuthukile, exwebe ilondo. Hayi ke ngethamsanqa before umawawa arrive abelungu bebencokola ngesi-Afrikaans uDuplessis echazela abanye into kwaku sibambe inhloko yenyoka uSiphiwo simbambe phezulu ngokwangumgqibelo enantsika enjuku uthi man hayi akhalaze kodwa kwaku umvumfu uyazisola pawu ilishwa nje asimgqithisanga mafu hey ndothuka apha ndigodole kule ndawo ndihleli kuyo.
We at Sanlam building, offices of the old security branch. The activists fear this, the name Sanlam. It's true that we had powers and we were the cream of the crop. They call me Notorious Nieuwoudt. That was the name given by the activist due to the fact that I was loyal to my country, to my people, and to the government. I tried to recruit Siphiwo Mtimkulu, and he wasn't prepared to.
Nieuwoudt left the office with a towel. He returned. The towel was wet and dripping with water. He tied it over my nose and mouth. As I inhaled, the water entered my nasal passage. Breathing was difficult. I lost consciousness and fell.
Yeah, if the walls could speak at this moment, there's no words to explain the situation of what effective this special branch were in that stage, how effective we were.
So the pressure, built up every day that we must tell them more about our ANC activities and our contacts and the people who are working, through the country. And they always try to bring in Siphiwo.
They applied the rings to one toe of each foot. I felt bursts of electricity for periods of a few seconds. I was shocked till I could not resist or stand it any longer, and I lost consciousness.
During the torturing at one point, they took me to Craddock in an old farmyard, post Chamas. They kept me there for 6 days. So I said, let me try my last throw. I said, I'll be your informer. At least 2 of us got recruited, initially myself and either Mpumi or Mawawa, right, by the security police. And then Siphiwo was stubborn, hence he got poisoned.
The pain started when I was required to stand for 12 days. I also had stomach pains which were continuous and aggravated by hunger.
This is a total of 18.5 hours of interrogation within a space of 4 days. Is that human?
If one looks back at this, then I must agree with you. It is possibly not human.
So at that stage, you do not think it was inhuman? It's only now that you're applying for amnesty you think it's inhuman. Is that what you're saying?
That is so, Your Honor.
When he was released, Siphiwo was in severe pain. His hair had receded, and he was confused and barely able to walk.
He was groaning from these pains in the body, the stomach pains and feet. Then, in the morning, we took him to Livingstone Hospital. That's where we thought Siphiwo was going to die.
I got a chance and told me that Siphiwo, I'm pregnant. And then he was puzzled and said, pity me, I cannot walk.
Siphiwo was immediately transferred from Port Elizabeth to Groote Schuur Hospital in Cape Town.
He was sick, wouldn't talk to me, but he could sing that chorus they usually sing about Comrade Mandela. Holy Hlahla, Holy Hlahla Mandela.
If somebody has severe neurological damage and abdominal pain, and they've been in prison, then one suspects some toxin has been administered. We then asked the nursing staff to get us some hair out by the roots. And the patient said, but you don't need to pull it out. Look at it, it's lying on the pillow, it's falling out. And that was the clue to the poison being thallium.
This is Siphiwo's hair. This is the scalp attached to the hair. I want the commission to witness the effect of the poison which was used to my son.
Thallium is a murderer's dream drug. It's tasteless, it's odorless, it's colorless. It's a miracle that he didn't die.
I prayed to God that if Siphiwo can come back from Cape Town alive, I will do anything to please God, because I wanted him to come back.
He was very weak, but then I was the first person that he wrote a letter to. He just wrote my name and just told my mother to look after me. And just said that, tell my baby that I loved her and I always, love her.
The security police tried to see Siphiwo in hospital, but were turned away by staff who said he was too sick to be seen. You can hear the effects of the poison in this unique recording made at his hospital bed.
I was lying on the room, the same room at Sanlam. where Siphiwo died. They asked me if I'm still not prepared to tell the truth. I said, what truth?
You've seen his affidavit?
Yes.
Is it all a pack of lies?
Well, just read it. Any pointing at me, I would say, yes, it's a pack of lies.
Siya bidori siya siya bidori siya.
A friend and prominent human rights campaigner Molly Blackburn asked fellow activists Di and Brian Bishop to give Siphiwo their support.
Sometimes we would visit and he would be surrounded by friends who were reluctant to make way for us to say hello to Siphiwo, and who were clearly antagonistic towards us because we were white. And I can remember one occasion when we arrived one evening and there was a host of friends around him. His friends were clearly not keen that he should engage with us. And he just turned to them and said to them, if it is for a non-racial South Africa that you're all fighting and that you're committed to, then if you're going to go into this new South Africa hating the white people, it's going to be no better than the present South Africa.
After 3 months in hospital, Siphiwo insisted on returning to Port Elizabeth, where he laid charges of poisoning against the Minister of Police.
We went to go and fetch him at the airport. Molly Blackburn was among those who went to fetch him with her combi. The journalist asked Siphiwo if he can now forget about politics or struggle. He said no, not at this juncture. While I'm like this, confined on a wheelchair, no, I can't turn back. I will never turn back.
When I was born, my father was not around. I was detained. So my aunt, she's the one who gave me a name, named me. She named me Pumeza. But then my mother said when my father came out of prison, he came back and just said, no. This just changed her to be Aluta. Aluta means the struggle must continue.
uSiphiwo uyile emaqwetheni kufishati ubuya kwakhe eKapa uyile emaqwetheni kufishati ngokwakhe wathi ndivela emaqwetheni ngodliswa ipoison xa bendinetyala ngebe ndigwebile bangandidlisa ipoison.
We did not want him to go out by any chance because he was not in a good condition to go out with friends, although friends would take him and then bring him back.
Vulnerable as he was, and aware of the danger to his life, Siphiwo made sure that he was never alone.
We normally go out with Siphiwo, himself in the wheelchair, and I carrying the baby in a pram, and we met the security police and he waved to them, said hello, and then they also greeted him back. They even stopped at times and asked, how do you do? And he just said fine, nothing else. They just talk as friends.
When I'm going to visit Siphiwo's place,
The mom, Joyce and Mtimkulu, would say to me, Buyiswa, I don't want to see this child in front of me, because seemingly he is to say, here is Siphiwo, the way he looks like his father.
Uyafana kakhulu notata yakhe. Zonke izinto zikatata yakhe ungathi uzithathile. Uyathetha. Utata yakhe wayeyiclown ke yena, wayethanda kakhulu uhlekisa. Apha khona kumnandi, kuyahlekwa, kuyatyiwa.
I was 13 years old by the time. Wakomnye umama wakuthiwa ngume. I think Mamo Lesia. Mamo Lesia was one of the ANC Women's League. Ngomnye womama babezabalaza for rally lizwe. So one day ndiyesikolweni ndiyadlula ngibona ume uxhuma le poster, and this poster was written, let them come home. Abo angibizi ume, angithi mos nemncinci la xesha, angibizi ume, ungibonisa liphepha linabantu. So there was this person obehleli ku-wheelchair kwaba bantu baninzi. Athi uyamazi lo mntu? Ndithi no me hayi ndimazi. Athi ngutatakho lo. Mna zange ndiyayiva mos loo nto leyo, indothusi. Tatam xa ndingayifaki engqondweni ndingahoya, athi nangutatakho, and by the time endixelela loo nto she was crying. Mna I thought, I wonder yintoni imenza uba makalile ume. Bonete nangutatakho. And utatako was a hero.
Less than 2 weeks after suing the Minister of Police, and only shortly before his claim would be heard by the courts, Siphiwo, together with his friend Topsy Madaka, disappeared.
After some time, we got a report that Topsy's car was found next to Lesotho borders, abandoned there. And initially there was a thought that maybe they have left the country.
So we had thought the obvious thing to do was to actually go to Lesotho and see whether he was there. So we arranged for Joyce to meet us in Lesotho.
Comrades made contact with the ANC in Lesotho, and they got a feedback from the ANC in Lesotho that no, those comrades were not there, they have never been there.
It was very difficult for Joyce to be confronted with the huge question then of, well, if he isn't there, then where is he?
At the end of 1985, Di's husband Brian Bishop and Molly Blackburn were killed in a mysterious car crash that many speculated was the work of the security police. Di and Judy Chalmers, Molly's sister, miraculously survived.
Walk right in, Di. Ah, man, Gosiyam. Hello, Auntie. Hello, Di. Hello, Di. Hello, my dear. Long time no see you. I'm happy to see you this year.
I'm very happy to be here.
Long time.
Yeah.
Hi, Di. Ngathi uzawuthetha as if she's going to talk.
Yeah.
Security did bad things to people. Where is Molly? Where is Brian? What happened to Brian and Molly? They separated our loved ones from us.
I feel joy and exultation
For I know there will be no more cells, no more detentions for my son, no rat poison in his food.
My mother, speaking at a protest meeting about the horrors of detention, 3rd of August 1982, the day after my deportation.
I am deeply ashamed of my tears. For there, but for the grace of God, go I. I am so much luckier than so many other mothers in this country.
He now gets dragged off at night into the wilds, and you say there was no alarm.
That's correct, Your Honor.
We are going nearer to this place now, this old farm, Bush Chalmers. I think the team was very happy by now because they were going to do their job and the devil was pushing them to do the job perfect.
Siphiwo and Topsy were driven nearly 300 kilometers to Post Chalmers, where the Pepco 3 were also brutally murdered. Joma Masela, a former fighter who was turned and worked for an apartheid death squad, was there.
Was Mr. Nieuwoudt quite active with his iron pipe?
Extremely.
Did Nieuwoudt continuously hit these people? The two that we're now dealing with on the first day.
I wouldn't say continuously. He will beat them, and others will kick, and then he will go out. And what happened when you got there? You just let them go to bed, did you?
No, Your Honor.
I am clear in my own mind that they tortured those people, and maybe the torture was so heinous, so, brutal, that even they are not prepared to stand up in public and be counted on that.
Is that house? This is possibly the place where they were kept. That I don't doubt. This is supposed to be where they were kept, 2 of them. Possibly they were locked out here. You can see the moon and the stars up there. Yes.
Gideon Nieuwoudt deliberately avoided showing us the holding cells at the perimeter of Post Chalmers, and serious questions remain about the 18 hours that elapsed before Siphiwo and Topsy were burnt.
This is also the place where I'm standing now, where Mr. Mtimkulu and Mr. Mdaka was abducted, and place where they were shot and placed on the pile of wood, and diesel were thrown on.
What happened when you got there?
They offered no resistance whatsoever, that I can promise you. They were actually quite relaxed. I don't know what went through their minds. I cannot know that.
What did they do while you went outside and collected the firewood you were going to use to burn them?
General van Rensburg and I collected firewood, and then Colonel du Plessis would look after them.
And as they were burning there, by the way, you said for how long was it?
I think approximately 6 hours is what I said. I think that's what I said.
It was all too much for Sikhumbuzo, whose name in English means remembrance. What a legacy to carry, as he has no memory of his father.
That thing, it really changed my lifestyle. Because I'm not a Sikhumbuzo that people used to know before. After that commission, just my life, it just went miserable. Yes, yeah. I'm not the same as before.
All these years I was angry. I had an anger. I don't know where this place is. I don't know how it looks like. I don't know where he could be buried. Possibly he was buried. Possibly they dug deep holes here. The whole night they were here feasting. They could have also buried them here among these trees. Nobody could believe to what they say, that they took their bones to the Fish River. Siphiwo died in this place. May God bless his soul.
After the killing of Siphiwo, for the next decade the family were themselves targeted by the security police.
They went straight into the bedroom, looking underneath the beds and the wardrobes, everywhere in the house. Siphiwo is a terrorist. He's in Soweto. He came back. He's no more on a wheelchair. He can walk properly. All these years, they had a cover that Siphiwo is still alive.
ufika kum ngoku ndiseseleni ngabe Algoa Park bamane bengena pha buyiswa where is Siphiwo ndiqoma mose ayidibana ngakhozi ngoku ngo84 bandibuza into yango 82 idibana njani ke ngoku apha bayandibhanqa bandibuza ba uphi nqoma andikwazi uphendula ke ngokuba uphina ndithani mas ndaba nengqondo ba apho akhoyo uyaphila qha ndiyazixelela lonto leba akafanga uyaphila because naku bendibuza ngokuba uphi ndizaphendula ndithi uphi ke.
The four of us, we sat around the table. It was Nieuwoudt, it was Rolofse and Duplessis, the three musketeers. So we met them and said, no, we've been mandated by the branch to come and request that you return all the material, blah, blah, blah. Then in the midst of that discussion, then came the issue of Siphiwo. Yeah. Because Nieuwoudt started saying, what happened to your friend Siphiwo? So I said, yeah, you killed him. I said so. To Nieuwoudt, I said, no, you killed him, Nieuwoudt. Wasn't he angry? Wasn't he angry? He was red. He was red. That was a month after Siphiwo disappeared.
Yeah, a month after Siphiwo disappeared.
You know, I met Izolo at town, Kandipume, a shop with Nieuwoudt. I met Nieuwoudt yesterday. You were shocked. Nieuwoudt. Where's your father? Where's your mother?
They usually come here in my house, pretend as priests, especially Nieuwoudt. Nieuwoudt is wearing a collar and a black coat, having a Bible, pretending as a priest. With a gun, yes, with a gun. I'm forgetting that, with a gun.
I just want to set the record straight here. I had a rash from shaving, and I had a bandage around it, covered it, and I had a black polo neck shirt on with a white jacket. So that's true. It could give that interpretation.
From my own experience, I know how personal things get between torturer and victim. They see in each other everything they hold to be evil. Exculpate yourself. the command of the apartheid torturer. Now, before the TRC himself, he tries to convince the public that he is truly coming clean. Yet, with the help of state funds which pay for the lawyers, and a strategy designed to admit as little as possible, the perpetrators, for the most part, show little sign of remorse. But then, remorse is not required to gain amnesty.
The evidence you will give before this commission today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you very much. Please be seated.
Were you with Joyce when she went to give evidence to the TRC and they kept being turning away?
Yes, I was there.
It must be incredibly painful.
It was.
So it's very special for you, it's very special for us, it's very special for all the people from New Brighton, from Port Elizabeth, and so many others who will be listening on the radio and watching and reading about you and your son and the suffering and the pain that you've endured.
Why is Nieuwoudt now? Why does he want to come and apologize? What was Nieuwoudt waiting for all these years, even before the TRC?
I reconciled with Christ. I do believe in the objectives of the Truth Commission, because even God commands that. If I've committed a sin, if I've done my brother wrong, I must ask God forgiveness for the sin, and then go to my brother and say to him, listen, I've done you wrong.
Because there is time that a bottle is full, and if a bottle is full now, it just bursts like that, you know? Why is not this Nieuwoudt's bottle get filled? He is now like a creature. You know, I can't describe how Nieuwoudt is. At times, really, I get emotional.
Motivated, I believe, to improve his chances for amnesty by the TRC, Gideon Nieuwoudt approached me to set up a meeting with Joyce so that he could ask the family directly for forgiveness.
I'm prepared to meet the family and to speak to them under the auspices of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee.
I knew that Nieuwoudt would be hoping that, as a good Christian, Joyce would feel compelled to forgive him. And I thought, how convenient that he feels Christ has forgiven him. And looking at him, I see no sign of remorse. What strikes me most is how remote he seems. But perhaps this is merely the outward sign of someone suddenly powerless, now trying to hold things together while living a nightmare.
Your Tata and Mama, thank you for the opportunity that I could meet you people today, the family. Why I'm here is to seek forgiveness from the family for what hardship that I've caused in the past as a result of the apartheid regime.
Mm-hmm. Gideon knows very well who I am. We are also pleased that you have come to sit here today, facing each other and eye to an eye.
With truth and sincerity, I come here today. This is where reconciliation started, where the Lord is being honored and His name be glorified. And we seek wisdom and knowledge from Him.
You are adamant that it was Nieuwoudt,
Hey, I know this man. We talked a lot with him. He's the man who quoted the Bible with his head, A up to Z.
According to your report at the Truth Commission, you claim that the Siphiwo got sick whilst he was here at his home. That's what was said.
I don't know what sickness.
When we are asking about the question of poisoning him.
Oh, the question of poisoning.
Because
the
actually,
poisoning, I
what
don't know.
made Siphiwo's food to be swollen? It was the poison. And what made Siphiwo's hair to get out of his head? It was the poison.
You see, but what the poison concern, that I can state with clear conscience. I know nothing about him. I wasn't even the last person to release him. So.
You even wanted to poison Mandela.
Yeah, you see, but
you know, there is that thallium poison
yes,
now,
yes.
Which means nobody outside could have that thallium poison that you used to poison Siphiwo. There was nobody who was supposed to have it. It's only the system who had it.
I can only speculate now. It's even, what about the military intelligence? What about the ANC? What about the national intelligence? All the intelligence organizations. That's easy for them to send somebody to poison Mr. Mtimkulu. That's easy. But I was unaware of that fact. Nothing could actually transpire here without me knowing about the detainee, because my office was next door.
The system wanted Siphiwo to die in our hands and say, you've got nothing to do with it. We put all these things onto you because you are the very, very person you were monitoring Siphiwo.
Yeah, no, I accept that.
Till the end.
Yeah, I accept that. But again, I wasn't in a position to release him.
Yes, Granny did ask him. But I wanted also to ask him, just like you sit here and we talk. You see, but I was not given a chance.
I think you are the one who gave an approval to those gentlemen, because they gave you a chance to interrogate Siphiwo.
But
what was your motivation? Because it was you who was giving the report.
My job was to get information, and which I did for my country, and which I'm saying it's wrong. It's wrong what we've done. I've interrogated a lot of people. That is so. And I know what physical or psychological method to use. But I never used no physical method on Siphiwo. That I can tell you with the truth here tonight.
Nieuwoudt, with the help of Mombela and Dunster, would take me to the bath filled with cold water. They would keep my head underwater and hold it there. They would repeat this a number of times until I had swallowed enough water to make my stomach protrude.
And a matter of fact, I never eliminated Siphiwo. Yeah, but here I'm here and asking you people forgiveness.
You never eliminated him?
No, I never.
Who eliminated him?
General Van Rensburg did.
Were you not together in the mission?
Yes, but I was...
All in all, you and Rensburg and others eliminated Siphiwo.
That's true. I didn't actually eliminate it, although I was accomplice, yes. That is so. I was an accomplice.
Who shot them?
I shot Topsy.
Who shot them? I don't know who shot who. Who shot them? Or were you doing tens? Just like when I'm shooting birds, one shoot his and one shoot his. Were you doing that?
Yeah, that is so.
They didn't even left the bone. they throw it away. So it really hurts me, Mark.
Were you Christian before you... When did you start being a Christian?
That was in 72. I gave my heart to God.
You also failed as a Christian. You are coming now at sunset. You are a Christian. I'm also a Christian. But the doings were not for Christians. What I'm trying to say is now, you came late. It is not late for God. Underline that one.
That's right.
But to me, you came late.
That's right.
I was suffering, crying all over, shouting all over the townships, writing letters, doing this, doing that, having no money. We are sick in this house. My husband is suffering from a heart attack. There is nobody working in this house. Siphiwo's kids are sufferers. We are the sufferers. I had, or I have got, or we have got no price to be paid for Siphiwo's soul. Nobody ever can pay my son's soul.
Never.
I've got no price for him. I don't care for anybody's money. My son's body or soul will never come back to this world. Okay, then now I think I have come out with whatever I had in me, and you've possibly answered the questions I've been asking you.
That's true. I've done my duty, and I know it's difficult for you as a family. I know it. You know, it's difficult for me to place myself in your shoes. I know it. You know, so it's not easy. It's not easy, I know. But I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you just for the opportunity that I can meet with Tata and Mom. That's all I want to ask. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Sorry.
Did he call her too?
Mr. Nieuwoudt, my wife will say to you, you're too late. And me, I say so. You're too late. 15 years. No story about you, this family, but it's Siphiwo Mtimkulu, the son. Very sorry. Thank you to come.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you to come. But it's no sorry here. The family is no sorry about you and your company and your lawyers.
Thank you.
I think we made it.
Nomntana wenza ntoni?
Just sit down, don't cry.
Events took an unexpected turn when Sikhumbuzo smashed a vase over Nieuwoudt's head, fracturing his skull.
He keep on lying to us. That's why I do something to show that I'm angry. And I don't think that I will forgive him. He's sitting there by his house enjoying himself with his kids. You see? What about us here?
I was happy about what Sikhumbuzo did to him because I think he deserved it. Because he's a pig.
Sorry,
But it was not my plan to eat.
You hadn't planned it?
I didn't plan it. It just happened.
I was plagued by the possibility that Sikhumbuzo's anger could consume him to such an extent that he could ruin his life. And this was reinforced when I heard that his headmaster had expelled him, when he became aware from the newspaper of the incident with Gideon Nieuwoudt.
Wherever I go, it's just like I'm famous of that thing, you see. They say, oh, that boy is rich, having that. See, people are saying things about me. Those things are hurting me inside because they don't know how do I live.
He received counseling from Dr. Fettman, who's here in PE, and then he called myself and Mrs. Mtimkulu and said, as a psychologist, he's very painful because there are things that he cannot rub off from Sikhumbuzo's mind. He do want to give help but doesn't know how because he's very angry inside.
Ndibone kwapha eholweni that at first ebezibambile qinile stiff namsindo kodwa eziba iservice iqhuba waya etshintsha ngoku yafuna uphela laa nto ibinyuka.
Go to even friends, contact friends of my father. I think they'll do something, but they just promise, but they didn't even come.
Now, as the family of Siphiwo, the criticism of men like me, for they are not in the place they are supposed to be, because Siphiwo would have been able, with his character, he would have been able to do that. Yes, I accept that. Excuses are flimsy because he died, so many rocky boat. And that was the thing that people hated. For you to say, don't do it. Don't remember who's actually the phone is cool. Don't remember. That's not a good excuse.
We had a lot of shortcomings during the struggle. Some other things we took them for granted. I mean, we didn't say need to go and explain to Siphiwo's family that how he disappeared. We thought that perhaps somebody else has got to do that. Yeah. But we had to look forward to something else because we were being chased ourselves.
We didn't even have time to sit down with our own families and explain some of the things.
We have failed Mama Mtimkulu at the minute of her need. But one thing that she can never and nobody can accuse us of. You know that we did not do what people told us to do. Please, that I can say, I know that I've got millions of witnesses in Port Elizabeth, that we did what he told us to do, to liberate and unite our people. And we did liberate these people. We did liberate them.
There are many families who are in the same category as the Mtimkulu family. And therefore, this could be in Mahlangu family, Solomon Mahlangu. This could be Joseph Mguli's family. Anyone, it could be. And there are hundreds of comrades that were killed by the security police in the streets there.
He is doing all these things of joining the wrong peer group. There's a father figure that is missing.
Yeah, masihleli ke singamajita ke sibakhona influences njalo. Mara kodwa ke that's too bad. Because the situation kuyo I think nzima ukunyamezela but sometimes izinto ziyangipress mhlawumbe ndingarobha ndithini yabo in order to get imali because nobody could help. So ngiyengizibambe mara kodwa this thing is too bad and abanye abantu abajongile ke uthi that's Siphiwo's son abanye abandaziyo because Ndiyafana gqithi notata. Yabo, every party ondibonayo ubona utata. Mara uthetha ke ukuthi ishi into ezenzayo. Azifani nebezisenziwa ngutata wakhe.
uSikhumbuzo ndimnqwenelela uba abe ngumntana oright, afunde. Azathi abafunde khona ke ngoku akwazi ukuphangela, ame aphile njengabanye abantwana. Ngoku kufuneka ayikhuphe altogether into katatakhe kuye. It must not be within him now.
If I can get amafunds ukuthi mandiye esikolweni, that will mean a lot to me. I can prove ukuthi I can do the thing as ubaba wayefuna ndibe njalo.
If only God could give me strength to just try and forgive them. Maybe in the long run, I know I won't be able to forget it, but then just try not to think about it, you know. Because I always think about it, you know, when you go to sleep, you just think, what if, you know, you have those what ifs. What if my father was around? What if Nieuwoudt and them didn't do this to us, you know.
Sizobashiya bazale ekhaya, siphume kwamanye amazwe lapho kungasikho baba nomama basolwela inkululeko. Masiyeke. Mna ndimfuni kumntu ozawuthi ubutata ebekhona bekunje akekho andakazuba khona. Into endizayithetha ke kunile uqala namhlanje ubheka phambili. Zenizazi anizonke dama. UmXhosa ndimthandela into enye. UmXhosa uxhomekeke kwifamily.
Kodwa inwele soze liphele inwele lomuntu. Noba ungalihumba emva kweminyaka emingaphila inwele lomuntu soze liphele. Iyona nto ibangela into yoba sithi zindlela zenu okanye zezikaThixo esibangela uba kube khona enye into esabambelela kuyo. Abanqwenela ukuzithetha ngenxa yoba ayikho enye into esinobe siphinde sithi hayi ngoku sizoncama.
Jerusalem,
Ivisa kamnandi kuba siyazibona sisenza lento sasinqwenela ukwenza yona. Ukuba sincame, sigalele umhlaba nathi. Silile ngexesha lolila. Yonke loo nto yenzekile. Yasivisa kamandi kakhulu ke loo nto abantu bekunye nathi ispirit right naku comrades now nezithethi speakers also got that thing, that feeling that we are bearing Siphiwo, yet it was only part of his body.
nothing can compensate for all the suffering or quell the ripple effect of a death that occurred so many years ago. During the making of this film, I have witnessed acts of kindness, of reconciliation. Friends of Professor Francis Ames, mindful of how privileged their lives have been, have funded the 3-day burial ceremony. Even though they have finally received 30,000 rand in reparations from the government, the years of grief, poverty and ill health have taken their toll. Joyce is experiencing severe pains in her joints, and Sipho has suffered a stroke, which has rendered him speechless. Sikhumbuzo has gone back to his studies, but continues to walk a tightrope between bettering himself or self-destruction. It took a long time, but I finally got hold of a security police photo album containing pictures of Topsy and Siphiwo. There also were some 7,000 photographs of opponents of apartheid, all of whom were harassed, some turned and others killed. All in all, a remarkable record that had somehow not been shredded. Gideon Nieuwoudt was controversially granted amnesty by the TRC for the killing of Siphiwo and Topsy. He was, however, denied amnesty for the Motherwell case, which involved blowing up security policemen. Nieuwoudt is now challenging that TRC decision on procedural grounds to avoid a 20-year prison sentence imposed by the courts. A new TRC hearing has had to be instituted, and for now, Nieuwoudt is still a free man. He is planning to sue the state for post-traumatic stress he claims he suffered as a security policeman. Between Joyce and Remembrance lies the memory of Siphiwo, and his gift to us all is the freedom to fulfill our dreams.
Control.